Just 3 games away from the Premier League. Absolutely fantastic. Welcome back to Where Robins Walk. Ethan, Sam and Liam are here, nursing hangovers from that 2-2 draw against Preston. We're going to get all the reaction from a famous day out at Ashton Gate. And there's a massive love-in for Bristol City across the footballing world. Oh, we're all Bristol City, aren't we, from Sheffield Wednesday fans? Pompey, we're all backing Bristol City in the playoffs. We're all Bristol City from a Crystal Palace fan. And Preston Podcast says, we don't want to see you lot next season. You have got this. A massive love-in for this famous old club. Nearly 17, 18 years, Sam, since you've watched your side in a playoff. How does it feel?
Oh, I'm absolutely buzzing. I mean, it was so tense yesterday afternoon. Going 2-0 down. I mean, all my nails are gone today, and then it was just checking on the results, but absolutely buzzing for it. I'm just hoping we can finally make this push.
Yeah, absolutely. Liam, were you on the pitch?
No, unfortunately, I couldn't make it down yesterday. I was one of them lucky ones that wasn't able to get there. My partner's lad had a cup final in Basingstoke, so I couldn't make it, unfortunately. But I was watching it on Sky. I was sort of had an eye on both. But I would have been one of them.
Fair enough. So did you have this Sheffield Blackburn game then on your phone, checking that every 5 minutes, something like that?
Yeah, literally. Come the end, I think I was watching my phone more than I was the game. And I just couldn't believe it. So I knew that I'd been following it in every way possible, that game, and knew that there was 8 minutes added time. And then, as I said, saw 8 minutes go past, and then it was 9 minutes, and then it was 10 minutes. And I'm like, well, yeah, I won't tell you exactly what I was saying, but you can imagine.
Yeah, because Ethan, a Blackburn goal at that point would have been heartbreak, wouldn't it?
Well, that was it. It was like that. That's how close it was. It got to it. I mean, talk about rollercoaster of emotions over the day. Sort of starting fifth, then like knowing a defeat, like we could have still made it, but yeah, dropping out of the playoffs, like going 2-0 down, dropping out of the playoffs, then back in it, and then like you say, that one goal would have changed everything. So yeah, talk about emotional rollercoaster.
Yeah. Ethan, you had a good day out as well because you've been meeting some celebs, I believe, as well.
I mean, I've been here when I had to get one. Just had to.
Talk us through your day. How did you cope with that?
I didn't, is the short answer. I think that's a given. It was unbelievable. I think it sums up what football's all about. I think I went through every single emotion possible yesterday. Elation, joy, devastation when we were out of it for a little while. But yeah, it would go down as one of the greatest days of my life for sure.
Absolutely. And then the celebrations, Sam, at the end, we've all seen the videos. We'll talk about Liam Manning's celebration as well at the moment, which I thought was incredibly emotional, even for neutrals to watch. Have you ever seen Ashton Gate like it?
Yeah, obviously last time when we got the playoffs, it was a bit like that, and then promotion from League One. But yeah, I could see myself in that picture somewhere in the middle there.
Oh, you went on the pitch then, did you?
Yeah. Well, I threw my daughter over first, and then I followed.
You're not worried about a ban then, are you, for Thursday night?
They won't catch me.
Okay. What do you reckon of these fans, Liam, that have called you Tin Pot for going on the pitch celebrating this? I mean, there's mostly Premier League fans and Leeds fans, but how do you respond to fans calling that a Tin Pot celebration?
They're completely irrelevant, aren't they? Obviously, we've waited so long. You've just got to live for the moment. They're obviously really fun at parties, that lot.
Absolutely, yeah. And like I say, this love-in then, so say some more. Royal Bristol City now, aren't we? This is a Wigan fan, Royal Bristol City, aren't we? There is a universal hope, and I think for two reasons. One is Chris Wilder, and that the world is waiting to see Wilder fall, and secondly, because people just want to see a different side in the Premier League and one that hasn't been there before. So, does it feel weird to have this love and respect from nearly every club?
Well, very much so, because normally Bristol City, we get our fair amounts of crap from everyone and a bit of stick. But then again, we've brought that on ourselves over the years because we're pretty good at shithousing people. But yeah, it's a bit weird. I mean, I bumped into some Preston fans out last night, And they're like the bromance can continue. I did remind them that they nearly buggered it up for us, that bromance, and it was nearly off. But yeah, there's a few notable exceptions on that list, though, weren't there? Of the loving. Yeah.
You can't expect Cardiff fans to be happy with, given that all you've done for a week is gloat that they're going down. Let's be fair.
And obviously our sort of lesser neighbours as well. I'm sure they're loving it. I can imagine there'd have been a lot of them out in Bristol last night if we hadn't have done it, but didn't see very many.
What, you mean Manor Farm fans?
Yeah, Mangotsfield Stroke Manor Farm. That's the one. Yeah.
Naughty. Right, let's talk about some other issues from the game. Then we'll get our Sheffield United fan in, and let's discuss the big one coming up this week. Ross McCrory, Ethan. Let's have a chat. He's scored some crucial goals, hasn't he? This season, cracking yesterday again because McCrory two timely goals. Yeah, I mean, if the Player of the Season awards went on for a bit longer, he'd be up there, wouldn't he?
I think he's a contender. I think maybe top 4 over the whole season. I think he said in his press conference, it was quite raw, it was quite honest. He said he hadn't been chipping in with enough. His game is getting to the back post, arriving late and scoring goals. And in the recent weeks, he's shown that. But I just think his character, he had a lot of setbacks early on in his career at City, but I'm really enjoying everything he's given at the minute.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we've got another one to talk about, the little cameo, which Ethan's point here. Sorry, not that one. Where have we gone? There we go. Sam, I guarantee nobody talks about Hayden Roberts' cameo. He's been unbelievable, Sam.
Yeah, he's another player. He's come in for a lot of criticism since he scored that goal at West Brom. He was the big thing after his last-minute goal against West Brom, but then he's getting heavily criticised for some of his performances. But yeah, I agree with Ethan there. When he come on yesterday, he changed the game along with Mehmeti. I thought Mehmeti looked brilliant when he come on yesterday. To be fair,
can I just add to that though? Where did he come on? He came on the left-hand side of a 3, which all season I've been saying that's his best position.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Twine was like, we could have played without Twine on the pitch yesterday and still got the same result. Do you know?
Been saying that for months. I'm going to take an assist for that.
Right. Well, that nicely brings us on to who should start on Thursday night then. So, Thursday night, we have got Sheffield United visiting Ashton Gate again. Now, of course, you'll all remember Bonfire Night, of course. What happened back in November. We'll bring our Sheffield United fan to remind you of that in a minute. And then, of course, you have to head off to Sheffield next Monday. Double header, 2 90-minute games. Liam, are you, first of all, happy that this is the Blades rather than Sunderland or Coventry?
I don't take any of them. Why not? Got to go in with no fear whatsoever.
Yes.
It's an odd one because none of them are really... Okay, Sheffield United might have picked up a couple of results recently, but their form on the way in hasn't been particularly great. We've dropped off a little bit with a couple of defeats here and there. Yesterday, we weren't particularly good for an hour of the game. Sunderland, they seem to be letting everyone beat them at the moment. And Coventry, they're sort of chipping away at it a little bit. So it's going to be a difficult one no matter who you play, really. But you just got to go in no fear. So I'd have taken any of them.
So our Sheffield United fans that say, look, we're finishing 22 points above Bristol City, 22 points, or 90 points or 90 points already. Really, this shouldn't be a contest. But anything goes, doesn't it, in these kind of games?
Well, totally. And I mean, it was last month before, with Sheffield United away on the Tuesday night. I went up. I was one of the few that went up there. And we absolutely played them off the pitch in the first half. And unfortunately didn't take our chances. And I think if we had an out-and-out striker, it would be very different. Obviously went 1-0 down, and then Sykes, he got the injury time winner for us. But that game, we absolutely, even Wilder, and I say even Wilder, admitted in his post-match interview that he'd have been disappointed if they didn't get anything from the game if it was them. And then Ashton Gate in the home, I mean, that was just a cruel mistake at the end that cost us that one. So I don't think... If I had to pick someone, if you forced me to pick one of the 3, I'd have picked Sheffield United.
Okay, interesting. All right, let's bring in our Blade then, shall we? And let's get his views on all this. Welcome, Dan Talbot from Where the Blades Walk. How are you, fella?
All right, how are we doing, lads?
Okay.
Yes, good.
Very good. You've been listening to all of that. Are you happy to have Bristol City versus any of the others?
I don't really mind. It's one of them for us. We've finished where we've finished, but the playoffs are a lottery. Bristol City are pretty much have been a bogey team for us over the years, so we've had two really good games with them this season. Probably one of the best teams to come to Bramall Lane. I'm not just saying that. I thought they were really good. Going to be a tough game. If I'm honest, again, I think I'd rather play Coventry. I'd rather play Sunderland over the two games because going there on a Thursday night is not. It's not going to be great, but I think they'll probably the better form team going into the playoffs of all of us, really. As some of the guys were just saying there, Sunderland have gone into that really poor form. We haven't done too bad. A couple of decent results after having that little spell of losing 3 games on trot, and then I think Coventry won at the weekend, and they've not won for a couple of games. So it's nicely poised. I mean, it would be a nice final, to be honest, but unfortunately, one of us have got to miss out. And yeah, I think the top 3 have been the best 3, but as it's proved over the years, that's what the other 3 places are there for teams to have that shot, and deservedly so.
Yeah, the momentum is certainly with you guys, isn't it, Ethan? And Ashton Gate has already been loud this season. I can't imagine what it's going to sound like when the players walk out the tunnel Thursday night.
That's it. I think I said it the other day. I said that game was won in the stands. Well, equal. That game was drawn in the stands as much as it was on the pitch. I think the fans made such a difference, and they have done definitely since Christmas at Ashton Gate in particular. So I mean, it's a really tricky one because Sheffield United, the quality they possess, but like everyone said, playoffs are a complete lottery and it's anyone's game.
Let's look at the teams then, shall we? Who played last time at Ashton Gate? In fact, we'll put it on. We'll put it nice and big here. Let's look at the Sheffield United side first. Dan, of course, this was the 2-1 victory when you scored in the 90th, 90th, I think it was 80th and 92nd minute. I think it was in that game. You've rested a few players, Cooper being one of them in that Blackburn result. How different do you see the side that Wilder's going to pick versus this one that started back in November?
I think it's going to be loads different. I mean, we haven't got no Harry Souter, have we? To start with, I don't think we're going to see Andre Brooks playing, who's struggled to get into the side all season. I think it is going to be a totally different side to the Blackburn game. If I'm honest, and no disrespect to Blackburn, I'd rather have them beat us than us to play them, because I think even with a makeshift team out, we didn't really get out of first gear and against them, and I think they were really poor. But it'll be a different team. It'll be an interesting. I think he'll change both games. You'll have a more defensive minded team in the away game. I don't think we'll see Jesmond Raksaki play on Thursday. I think he'll probably play more Monday. I think he's not the greatest out of possession. So you'll see changes from both games, but I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be an interesting tie.
Yeah. Of course, there was a Sheffield United fan who tweeted that we should have let Blackburn score because we'd have had an easier route to Wembley.
Yeah, I don't buy into losing any game. I wanted to win yesterday and get to 92, 94 points, whatever it is. But that's just the way some think. But it is what it is.
Right then, Sam. What about this Bristol City side? It's going to look a bit different, isn't it?
Yeah, obviously looking at that, I mean, we've got a few injuries there. I mean, we're going to miss Mark Sykes. I've missed him since he's been injured, and Cameron Pring there as well. And I think you've got Naismith on the list. He's no longer with us, but I think we should go with the side that finished the game on yesterday. I think we looked really strong yesterday towards the end of the game, and that's how I would line up. I'd drop Twine, bring Murphy in, and get Mehmeti on the left as well.
Do you agree, Liam?
Yeah, I probably would agree with Sam. I tweeted myself, Bird and Twine looked completely lost yesterday when they're both playing. So maybe the only thing I struggle with Mehmeti is his work rate off the ball. Completely agree with Earthy coming in. I think Earthy since Christmas has been one of our best players. And I'd be starting Roberts on the left of the three, moving Viner to the right, and Tanner dropped to the bench. But yeah, I probably would go with Mehmeti and Earthy behind Wales. But other than that, midfield picks itself. I think Williams is needed, especially against the likes of Vinny D'Souza and O'Hare. Even if Gus Hamer starts, we need Williams in there to break play up and rough people up and get in their faces a little bit, and let Knight do his thing, and then get the ball wide, get it in the box.
Going to be fascinating. This I can't predict it. So how do you see this one going? Would you? I mean, is it a case of you've got to go all out on this one and then just do a KG play for a draw at Bramall Lane Monday?
No, I mean, I'm basically saying we've been talking about it all day, as I'm sure everyone is. I mean, it's a case of just don't lose at home. I mean, this is. I mean, last time we were in the playoffs a long time ago. Remember, we obviously away first got a great result and then brought it back to Ashton Gate. But the times I can recall when we've been home in the playoffs, first of all, we've not covered ourselves in glory, and you put yourselves against behind the 8 ball. As long as we don't lose at home, if we could take a narrow lead, if we could take 1 goal lead up to Sheffield United, and then keep it tight early on and silence the crowd like we did when we played away a few weeks ago, get the crowd behind, and then we know that there's a couple of players and Wilder himself that you can get niggle at with Sheffield United. It changes everything.
Okay. Ethan?
Yeah, I think I agree. I think it's, again, like I say, Sheffield United is so good. So sometimes the dark arts, like, what Williams does, will help you get over the line. I think the only thing that is a real issue for me in my head at the minute is maybe just the lack of, I don't want to say the word, like, I just don't want to bottle it, because put it this way, we weren't pretty on Saturday. It wasn't in our hands. Like, if it was for Blackburn being a little bit better, then we wouldn't have even been in this position. So I'd like us to rise to the occasion, I think.
Okay. Dan, let's get a score prediction from you then, shall we? But first of all, the game at Ashton Gate. How do you see it going?
I'd be well happy to go there and get a draw, to be honest. But if we are going to get beat, you get beat by that single goal, don't you? But it's going to be a tough game when you've got players like Sykes and Mehmeti who I rate really highly. I think they're dangerous players, but with us, we've been really good defensively this season. A lot of our fans, as you know, on our podcast, Mark, they've said we've not played really well all season. That doesn't really bother me. We've kept a lot of clean sheets, and if we can do that, go to Ashton Gate and keep a clean sheet. I fancy us in the second game, but anything can happen. But over the 2 legs, I'm gonna say we nick it by 1 goal. But I want to say on here that if Bristol City do beat us, I will be rooting for them in the final, because I don't want to see Coventry go up. I don't want to see Sunderland go up. But Bristol City in the Premier League at Ashton Gate, full crowds every week, proper football club with all the fans behind them, it'd be brilliant for football, I think, as well. But unfortunately, a bit at our expense, but it is what it is.
All right. Nicely said. Look, these games are never classics. They're very, very nervous affairs. So we're not expecting a football spectacle here, but we'll certainly go and enjoy it. Thank you, Dan, for joining us. We'll catch you on the other side on the Blades Walk.
Cheers, mate.
Good luck. Thank you very
All the
much.
best, lads.
Mate, all the best.
Right, yeah, just a couple of bits to finish off with then. There was a Man United tweet I wanted to bring up as well. Just highlighted it. Oh, no, that's not the one. There we go. That is definitely the one. Let me go back and find it in a second. First of all, Ethan, who would you want to play in the Wembley, and have you booked your hotel?
I'm away. I'm gutted. I'm away.
Oh, that's right. You are. You said, yeah.
It's one of them. I have.
You need to get that can. So you got your hotel booked?
No, not yet. But we're definitely, we've been discussing. We want to come back to Bristol. If we were up there on the Saturday night, we were thinking of staying up. But we definitely will come back, because if we did do it, it'd be amazing. Ethan, have a word, mate. When we were there 17 years ago, I was on a family holiday in Spain, and I changed the flights and flew the whole family home a day early. And I didn't tell my wife until the day before either. So yeah, but yeah, we will be. If we get there, I don't want to tempt fate. We'll be going up on the Friday night. But I did have an apartment booked in Sheffield and an apartment in Newcastle on free cancellation ahead of the event. So I've cancelled. I've confirmed the Sheffield one. We're going up next Sunday. We're going to have 2 nights up there, and then cancelled the Newcastle one. But yeah, we'll be going up on the Friday if we do it. But I don't want to tempt fate.
Okay, all right, good stuff. Yes, this is what I wanted. Yeah, Man United fan HQs. The difference in the crowd reaction on securing playoffs places on the last day speaks volumes. Bristol City fans explode onto the pitch. Coventry fans act like it's pre-season. I know which team I want in the Prem. Incredible job done by Liam Manning. Right then, bring it home, you guys. Everybody wants to see you. Do it. Let's fingers crossed you do.
If we did make it, it would be our dream season, wouldn't it? Especially with if we got promoted, and then Cardiff and Rovers have both been relegated. That's a perfect year for us. Perfect year.
Absolutely. We will see you on Where Robins Walk again, following the result of both playoff semi-finals, whichever way it's gone. So this is not our goodbye to you, but I do just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has supported the channel this year. We have done, crikey, what have we done? 39 of these now since September, and just a massive thank you, of course, to Sam and to Liam and to Ethan in particular, who have been with us right from the start, and for Suts, obviously, for all his amazing commentary, and to Ben, who's not with us this week but will be back after the play as well. Thank you, of course.
And a big thank you to you as well for organising it.
Top man.
We'll have a party potentially.
Everton away next year. We're looking forward to that, mate.
we will be live on Wembley Way, May the 24th. Yeah. If Bristol City there, do come and say hello to us as you leave the Wembley tube station. All right, let's not get ahead of ourselves though. Let's focus on Sheffield United. Good luck in those playoffs games. Congratulations to all of you. Go and beat them.
Yeah, cheers, boys. Yeah,
cheers.
Come on, you Reds.